Fall protection for construction. Training objectives. Nature of fall hazards in the work area. Subpart M of the Construction Regulations. 1A. Training objectives. Procedures for erecting, maintaining, disassembling, and inspecting fall protection systems. 1B. Training objectives. Use and operation of guardrail systems. Personal fall arrest systems. Safety net systems. Warning line systems. Safety monitoring systems. Controlled access zones. Other protections to be used. 1C. Training objectives. Role of each employee when a safety monitoring system is used. Role of employees in fall protection plans. 1D. Training objectives. Limitations on the use of mechanical equipment during roofing work on low-sloped roofs. 1E. Training objectives. Correct procedures for the handling and storage of equipment and materials and the erection of overhead protection. 1F. Fall hazards in the work area. Falls are one of the major causes of injuries to construction workers working at the leading edge of floors, formwork, or roofs. 2A. Fall hazards in the work area. Leaning over for overhand bricklaying work. Working near holes or openings. Walking on elevated ramps or runways. 2B. Standard applicability. The OSHA standard requires construction employers to identify and evaluate fall hazards, provide fall protection, train employees. The requirements are performance-oriented. 3A. Standard applicability. The standard does not cover construction workers who are inspecting, investigating, or assessing workplace conditions prior to the actual start of work, or after all work has been completed. 3B. Standard applicability. Other OSHA standards also contain fall protection requirements, but they may not outline specific rules for fall protection during all parts of the job. 3C. Standard applicability. Review. Subpart L. Scaffolds. Subpart N. Cranes and derricks. Subpart R. Steel erection. Subpart S. Tunneling. Subpart V. Electric transmission and distribution lines and equipment. Subpart X. Stairways and ladders. 3D. Fall protection measures. All walking and working surfaces must be strong enough to safely support employees. Employees must be protected from fall hazards whenever they are 6 feet or more above a lower level. 4A. Fall protection measures. Construction workers who are exposed to the hazard of falling onto or into dangerous equipment must be protected at any height. All employees must be protected from falling objects. 4B. Fall protection measures. Guardrail systems. Safety net systems. Personal fall arrest systems. Positioning device systems. 4C. Fall protection measures. Warning line systems. Controlled access zones. Safety monitoring systems. Covers. 4D. Terms: anchorage body belt, safety belt, body harness. Controlled access zone, CAZ. 5A. Terms: dangerous equipment deceleration device, deceleration distance. Free fall. 5B. Terms: free fall distance. Guardrail system. Lanyard. Leading edge. 5C. Terms: lifeline. Low slope roof. Lower levels. Mechanical equipment. 5D. Terms: overhand bricklaying and related work. Personal fall arrest system. Positioning device system. Roofing work. 5E. Term safety monitoring system self-retracting lifeline/lanyard. Steep roof. 5F. Terms unprotected sides and edges walking/working surface. Warning line system. 5 grams. Guardrail systems. The top edge height of top rails must be between 39 inches and 45 inches above the walking/working level. 6A. Guardrail systems. Mid-rails, screens, mesh, or intermediate vertical members are needed when there is no wall or parapet wall at least 21 inches high. 6B. Guardrail systems. Guardrail systems must be able to withstand the forces specified in OSHA's standard. Steel or plastic banding cannot be used as top rails or mid-rails. 6C. Guardrail systems. Top rails and mid-rails must have a diameter of at least 1/4 inch. If wire rope is used for top rails, it must be flagged with high visibility material at least every 6 feet. 6D. Guardrail systems. Top rails or mid-rails made from manila, plastic or synthetic rope must be inspected frequently. The guardrail surface must be smooth enough so it does not cause lacerations or other injuries, or snag clothing. 6E. Guardrail systems. The ends of top rails and mid-rails must not overhang the terminal posts to create a projection hazard. 6F. Safety net systems. Safety nets must be installed as close as practicable under the walking/working surface, but in no case more than 30 feet below the surface. 7A. Safety net systems. When nets are used on bridges, the potential fall area from the walking/working surface to the net must be unobstructed. 7B. Safety net systems. Safety nets are to extend outward from the work surface by a sufficient distance as specified in the standard. Safety nets must have sufficient clearance under them. 7C. Safety net systems. Safety nets must be capable of absorbing an impact force equal to the standard specified drop test. Defective nets must not be used. 7D. Safety net systems. Inspect safety nets at least once a week for wear, damage, and other deterioration. Safety nets must also be inspected after any occurrence that could affect the integrity of the safety net system. 7E. Personal fall arrest systems. Effective January 1, 1998, body belts are not acceptable as part of a personal fall arrest system. Connectors, D-rings, and snaphooks must meet the standard's design and strength requirements. 8A. Personal fall arrest systems. Devices used to connect to a horizontal lifeline are to be capable of locking in both directions on the lifeline. Lanyards and vertical lifelines must meet the standard's minimum breaking strength requirements. 8B. Personal fall arrest systems. When vertical lifelines are used, each employee must be attached to a separate lifeline. Lifelines must be protected from being cut or abraded. 8C. Personal fall arrest systems. Self-retracting lifelines and lanyards must meet the standard's load requirements. Anchorages used for personal fall arrest equipment must be independent of any anchorage being used to support or suspend platforms. 8D. Personal fall arrest systems. When stopping a fall must limit the maximum arrestant force on an employee to 1,800 pounds when used with a body harness. Be rigged so that an employee cannot free fall more than 6 feet. 8T. Personal fall arrest systems. When stopping a fall must be rigged so that an employee will not contact any lower level. Bring an employee to a complete stop and limit the employee's maximum deceleration distance to 3.5 feet. 8F. Personal fall arrest systems. When stopping a fall must have sufficient strength to withstand twice the anticipated potential impact energy. 8 grams. Positioning device systems. Positioning devices are to be rigged so that an employee cannot free fall more than 2 feet. 9a. Positioning device systems. Positioning devices must be secured to an anchorage capable of supporting at least twice the potential impact load of an employee's fall, or 3,000 pounds, whichever is greater. 9b. Positioning device systems. Connectors, D-rings, and snaphooks must meet the standards design and strength requirements. 9c. Positioning device systems. Positioning device systems must be inspected before each use for wear, damage, deterioration, defective components. 9d. Positioning device systems. Body belts and components must only be used as part of a positioning device system, they cannot be used to hoist materials. 9e. Fall protection systems. Employers have a duty to anticipate fall hazards, and to plan work activities accordingly. Careful planning and preparation lay the necessary groundwork for an accident-free workplace. 10a. Fall protection systems. Limit work activities to walking/working surfaces that have the strength and structural integrity to safely support employees. 10b. Fall protection systems. The rule identifies areas or activities where fall protection is needed. These include, but are not limited to, unprotected sides and edges, hoist areas, holes, wall openings, formwork and reinforcing steel. 10c. Fall protection systems. The rule identifies areas or activities where fall protection is needed. These include, but are not limited to, ramps, runways, and other walkways. Excavations, protection from falling into excavations greater than 6 feet deep only. 10d. Fall protection systems. The rule identifies areas or activities where fall protection is needed. These include, but are not limited to, dangerous equipment, overhand bricklaying and related work. 10e. Fall protection systems. The rule identifies areas or activities where fall protection is needed. These include, but are not limited to, roofing work, leading edge work, precast concrete erection. 10f. Fall protection systems. The rule identifies areas or activities where fall protection is needed. These include, but are not limited to, residential construction, other walking and working surfaces. 10 grams. Fall protection systems. Employers need to give instructions to prevent exposure to unsafe conditions, ensure employees follow the procedures and understand the training, be aware of the safety methods being used by specialty subcontractors. 10 hours. Unprotected sides and edges. Employees must be protected when they are exposed to falls from unprotected sides and edges of walking/working surfaces 6 feet or more above lower levels. 11a. Unprotected sides and edges. Fall protection options include guardrail systems, safety net systems, personal fall arrest systems. 11b. Protecting hoist areas. Employees in a hoist area must be protected from falling 6 feet or more. Fall protection options include guardrail systems, personal fall arrest systems. 12a. Protecting hoist areas. When guardrail systems are used at hoisting areas, a chain, gate, or a movable guardrail section must be placed across the access opening when hoisting operations are not taking place. 12b. Protection for holes. Employees must be protected from falling into or through holes, tripping in, or stepping into or through holes, objects falling through holes. 13a. Protection for holes. Covers located where there is vehicular traffic must be able to support at least twice the maximum axle load of the largest vehicle expected to cross over the cover. 13b. Protection for holes. All other covers must be able to support at least twice the weight of employees, equipment, and materials that may cross over the cover at any one time. 13c. Protection for holes. Covers must be secured in place. Covers must be color-coded or marked with the word hole or cover to provide a warning. 13d. Protecting wall openings. Employees must be protected from falling out or through wall openings. Full protection options include guardrail systems, safety net systems, personal fall arrest systems. 14a. Formwork and reinforcing steel. Employees working on formwork and reinforcing steel 6 feet or more above lower levels must be protected by one of the following: personal fall arrest system, safety net system, positioning device system. 15a. Formwork and reinforcing steel. Full protection is not required while employees are moving vertically and or horizontally on the vertical face of rebar assemblies built in place. 15b. Ramps, runways, and walkways. Ramps, runways, and other walkways have guardrails along each unprotected side or edge when employees could fall 6 feet or more. 16a. Excavations. If the excavation depth is 6 feet or more, edges of excavations must be protected by guardrail systems, fences, barricades. 17a. Falls into dangerous equipment. Employees working 6 feet or more above dangerous equipment must be protected from falling by one of the following systems: guardrail systems, personal fall arrest systems, safety net systems. 18a. Falls into dangerous equipment. Where the walking/working surface is less than 6 feet above the dangerous equipment hazards, guardrails or equipment guards must shield employees from the hazard. 18b. Overhand bricklaying. Each employee performing overhand bricklaying and related work 6 feet or more above lower levels must be protected by one of the following systems. 19a. Overhand bricklaying guardrail systems, personal fall arrest systems, safety net systems, controlled access zones. 19b. Overhand bricklaying. The controlled access zone is defined by a control line erected between 10 feet and 15 feet from the working edge. 19c. Overhand bricklaying. The controlled access zone must extend far enough to enclose all employees performing overhand bricklaying and related work at the working edge. 19d. Overhand bricklaying. The controlled access zone needs additional control lines erected at each end to enclose the controlled access zone. Allows only employees engaged in overhand bricklaying or related work in the controlled access zone. 19e. Overhand bricklaying. Control lines consist of ropes, wires, tapes, or equivalent materials, and supporting stanchions as follows. Each line is flagged or otherwise clearly marked with high visibility material at intervals of at least 6 feet. 19f. Overhand bricklaying. Control lines consist of ropes, wires, tapes, or equivalent materials, and supporting stanchions as follows. 19f. Overhand bricklaying. Each line is rigged and supported so that its lowest point is at least 39 inches from the walking/working surface. Its highest point is not more than 50 inches from the walking/working surface. Each line must have a minimum breaking strength of 200 pounds. 19 grams. Overhand bricklaying. All employees reaching more than 10 inches below the level of the walking/working surface must be protected from falling. 19 hours. Overhand bricklaying. Full protection options include guardrails, Personal fall arrest systems. Safety nets. 19I. Overhand bricklaying. To provide for falling object protection during overhand bricklaying and related work. No materials or equipment except masonry and mortar can be stored within 4 feet of the working edge. 19J. Overhand bricklaying. To provide for falling object protection during overhand bricklaying and related work. Excess mortar, broken or scattered masonry units, and all other materials and debris must be removed at regular intervals. 19K. Roofing on low-slope roofs. Employees engaged in roofing activities on low-slope roofs with unprotected sides and edges 6 feet or more above lower levels must be protected by one of the following methods. 20A. Roofing on low-slope roofs. Guardrail systems. Safety net systems. Personal fall arrest systems. 20B. Roofing on low-slope roofs. A combination of warning line and guardrail systems. A combination of warning line and safety net systems. A combination of warning line and personal fall arrest systems. 20C. Roofing on low-slope roofs. A combination of warning line and safety monitoring systems. On roofs 50 feet or less in width, the use of a safety monitoring system alone. 20D. Roofing on low-slope roofs, safety monitoring system. When a safety monitoring system is used, a designated competent person must monitor employee safety. The safety monitor cannot have other responsibilities that could distract him/her from the monitoring function. 20E. Roofing on low-slope roofs, safety monitoring system. Mechanical equipment must not be used or stored in areas where safety monitoring systems are being used. 20F. Roofing on low-slope roofs, safety monitoring system. No employee, other than an employee engaged in roofing work, or an employee covered by a full protection plan, can be allowed in an area where an employee is being protected by a safety monitoring system. 20 grams. Roofing on low-slope roofs, safety monitoring system. Each employee working in a controlled access zone must comply with fall hazard warnings from safety monitors. 20 hours. Roofing on low-slope roofs, warning line system. When warning line systems are used, warning line systems are to be erected around all sides of the roof work area. 20I. Roofing on low-slope roofs, warning line system. The warning line must be at least 6 feet from the roof edge when mechanical equipment is not being used. 20J. Roofing on low-slope roofs, warning line system. The warning line must be farther from the roof edge when mechanical equipment is being used. 20K. Roofing on low-slope roofs, warning line system. 2 warning lines must form an access path to connect points of access, materials handling areas, storage areas, and hoisting areas to the work area. 20 liters. Roofing on low-slope roofs, warning line system. When a point of access is not in use, a rope, wire, chain, or other barricade must be placed across the path. 20 meters. Roofing on low-slope roofs, warning line system. Warning line ropes, wires, chains, and supporting stanchions must meet the standards design and strength requirements. 20N. Roofing on low-slope roofs, warning line system. No employee is allowed in the area between a roof edge and a warning line unless the employee is performing roofing work in that area. 20O. Roofing on low-slope roofs. To provide for falling object protection during roofing work, materials and equipment must not be stored within 6 feet of a roof edge unless guardrails are erected at the edge. Materials that are piled, grouped, or stacked near a roof edge must be stable and self-supporting. 20P. Roofing on steep roofs. Each employee engaged in roofing activities on steep roofs with unprotected sides and edges 6 feet or more above lower levels must be protected from falling. 21a. Roofing on steep roofs. A steep roof has slopes greater than 4 and 12, vertical to horizontal. 21b. Roofing on steep roofs. Full protection options include guardrail systems with toe boards, personal fall arrest systems, safety net systems. 21c. Leading edge work. Leading edge work 6 feet or more above lower levels requires one of the following full protection methods: guardrail systems, safety net systems, personal fall arrest systems. 22a. Leading edge work. If these conventional systems cannot be used, a full protection plan must be in place. 22b. Leading edge work. When used to control access to areas where leading edge and other operations are taking place, the controlled access zone is defined by a control line that restricts access. 22c. Leading edge work. When control lines are used, they are to be between 6 feet and 25 feet from the unprotected or leading edge, except when erecting precast concrete members. 22d. Leading edge work. The control line must extend along the entire length of the unprotected or leading edge. Each side of the control line is to be connected to a guardrail system or wall. 22e. Leading edge work. Control lines. Control lines consist of ropes, wires, tapes, or equivalent materials, and supporting stanchions as follows. 22f. Leading edge work. Control lines. Each line must be flagged or otherwise clearly marked with high visibility material at intervals of at least 6 feet. 22 grams. Leading edge work. Control lines. Each line is to be rigged and supported so that its lowest point is at least 39 inches from the walking/working surface. Highest point is not more than 45 inches. Each line must have a minimum breaking strength of 200 pounds. 22 hours. Precast concrete erection. Erecting precast concrete members 6 feet or more above a lower level requires one of the following full protection methods: guardrail systems, safety net systems, personal fall arrest systems. 23a. Precast concrete erection. If these conventional systems cannot be used, a full protection plan must be in place. 23b. Precast concrete erection. A controlled access zone may be used to control access to areas where leading edge and other operations are taking place. 23c. Precast concrete erection. The controlled access zone is defined by a control line, or other means, that restricts access. 23d. Precast concrete erection. When erecting precast concrete members, the control line is to be between 6 feet and 60 feet, or half the length of the member being erected, whichever is less, from the leading edge. 23e. Precast concrete erection. The control line must extend along the entire length of the unprotected or leading edge. Each side of the control line is to be connected to a guardrail system or wall. 23f. Precast concrete erection. Control lines. Control lines consist of ropes, wires, tapes, or equivalent materials, and supporting stanchions as follows. 23 grams. Precast concrete erection. Control lines. Each line is to be flagged or otherwise clearly marked with high visibility material at intervals of at least 6 feet. 23 hours. Precast concrete erection. Control lines. Each line is to be rigged and supported so that its lowest point is at least 39 inches from the walking/working surface. Highest point is not more than 45 inches. Each line must have a minimum breaking strength of 200 pounds. 23i. Residential construction. Employers engaged in residential construction must protect employees from falls of 6 feet or more to lower levels by the use of one of these fall protection systems. Guardrail systems. Safety net systems. Personal fall arrest systems. 24a. Residential construction. If it is infeasible or creates a greater hazard to implement these conventional systems, a fall protection plan can be used instead. 24b. Fall protection plans. The use of a fall protection plan is available only to employees engaged in leading-edge work, precast concrete erection work, residential construction work. 25a. Fall protection plans. Fall protection plans must be developed by a competent person. 25b. Other walking/working surfaces. All employees exposed to falls of 6 feet or more to lower levels must be protected by a guardrail system, safety net system, personal fall arrest system. 26a. Protection from falling objects. Employees who may be exposed to falling objects are required to wear hard hats. 27a. Protection from falling objects. Employers must also do one of the following: erect boards, screens, or guardrail systems to prevent objects from falling from higher levels. Erect a canopy structure and keep potential falling objects far enough from the edge of the higher level. 27b. Protection from falling objects. Employers must also do one of the following: barricade the area to which objects could fall, and keep employees out of the area. Keep objects far enough away from the edge of the higher level. 27c.